watching NotesIn9.
Hello, and welcome to NotesIn9. I'm David Leedy. Episode 77, Data Caching Tips from Collaboration Today. The Making of Collaboration Today, Part 2. Okay, so today we're going to go back and take another look at Collaboration Today, which is a great website for the IBM collaboration solutions community, I guess you can call it. And what this is, it's kind of a news aggregator of all the articles and videos and podcasts and whatever else that is pertinent to this space. And what kind of makes it unique is it's curated articles. So there's a group of people who monitor the X Pages stuff, and if they see an X Pages thing that is worthy, they put it on the site. If they see something that has less value, I guess, or not as interested in it, then it doesn't get on the site. So they're really trying to find you the best of the best articles on there. And there's different groups of people for X Pages or WebSphere or Notes, potentially that they can set it up that way. So this is the second NotesIn9 dealing with the making of this site. We have at least one more coming up in the next show. And what we're going to talk about today is some things to watch for. So Nicholas Heidloff, who's one of the architects behind this solution, is going to show you how he uses managed beans in this site to increase performance. So this is why the last NotesIn9 show, if you've been watching in order, I did what is managed beans, just so we had a really good concept of what it is. So today he's going to actually show you a managed bean or two briefly, and what he does with them. And what he does is he basically captures the view of the data that he wants and puts it inside a managed bean, and it's stored there in memory. So now every time someone goes to this site and requests a page, it doesn't have to go back to disk to do that. So it just has to go to memory, and it's much faster performing that way for a popular website. So it's a great way to do it. Another thing he's going to touch on is multiple beans or multiple Java objects. So he's got a bean for basically the view data. But then he's also got a bean or Java object. I'm not actually sure it's a bean, but he's got a Java object for each entry of, basically each blog or each record or so that he pulls from. So that's a separate bean, and they work together. And then finally, something to just watch out for is in the end he shows you how he updates the data cache. So every time a moderator saves something or so, it updates the cache. So it's not like a profile document in Notes world where you update it and you hope it the cache gets updated at some point in the future. You can actually control all this because you're writing it yourself. Okay, so who is Nicholas Heidloff? Well, he's a great IBMer. He's at nheidloff on Twitter, and he's a key member of the OpenNTF.org website, and he's the technical committee chair, and he contributes to a lot of projects, and he did this video for us, and I thank him for that. So with that being said, let's go to the demo.
Hello everybody, Nicholas Heidloff here. In the previous video I explained the functionality of Collaboration Today as it is available to readers and moderators. In this short video today I want to describe how I've implemented the backend so that the application is fast and can actually scale. So here's the home page, and I can navigate here to all of these different views, and you can see it's pretty fast. So the way I've implemented that is to cache all of the information that you see here on this page. So all these categories or filters, then the actual news entries, the editor's picks, the recent news entries, as well as all the profile information about the authors. So typically you would use for domino views or view data sources and do for actual view lookups. Now I've implemented a cache in the application scope so that the view only has to be read one time, and then all the information is cached and available to all users or all readers of Collaboration Today. So let's take a look in Designer. Here is my home page, Home XSP, and it has a repeat control to display the actual news entries. Now, as I said, I don't use a domino view data source here, but instead I call my own method getEntriesByPopularity. And it's a method on a Java variable here called newsCache, which is a managed bean that I've defined in my faces config, and it points to my class newscache, and it's available in the application scope so that it's available to all users of that web page. So then the implementation of this method, getEntriesByPopularity, actually only returns an array list of news entries which has previously been initialized. So when I scroll up here, you can see this is the class newscache, and I won't go through all of these details here, and just to highlight a couple of key concepts. So this is where I store all the news entries in memory in this array list, and this happens only once here in the init method, where I first of all open a view. It's called news moderated cache. Let's take a quick look there. This is the view. It's one view for all news entries that I want to display, and it has many columns, I think 20 or so. And the view is a little bit optimized. It doesn't display all the news entries, but only the ones from the last 30 days. So going back in the code here, in the initialize method, I read the view, and then I essentially go through all of these view entries and create news entry objects. News entry, where is it here? It's really just a simple data object with lots of variables, private members, and then getters and setters. That's really all it is. And all of these news entries are created here in the initialize method. And that's essentially it. That's the key mechanism behind the caching. Now, as with every cache, you need to think about when you can refresh and update the cache. And fortunately, this is very simple for us, because we know we always have to update the cache whenever a moderator adds a news entry or saves or edits a news entry. So for example, when I open this one here in moderation mode, in the moderation UI, when I click save, the whole cache is updated. And let me show you how this works, or looks like in the code. This is the moderate entry XSP, and here is my save button, and all I really need to do here is to say news cache update, which is another method here in my news cache class, and all I do here is reset all private members and then call the initialize method again. And that's pretty much it. So it's really simple mechanism, and it works very well for our scenario where most of the times the information is only read. And the same mechanism we actually also use not only for the news entries, but also for everything related to configuration, like for example the categories. And we also store all the information about persons, the profile information, like the URLs of the avatars. So that's how easy it is to implement your own application cache. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye bye.
And that's the demo. Thanks, Nicholas. And we have at least one more Collaboration Today show coming tomorrow. And I thank you for your time.